And as major automakers prepare for a transition, one of Detroit's big three, Chrysler, is considering a different business strategy here. Clean Sky's Lee Patrick Sullivan joins us now to explain. And Lee, one of the major automakers here, Chrysler, hasn't really been grabbing headlines. Not a bad thing in the climate right now, but as far as electric transportation, not much word from them.
No, they haven't. Chrysler has been quietly working on its electric vehicles while GM touts its Chevy Volt, and even upstarts like Fisker and Tesla Motors grab headlines. The company, which recently was bought out by Fiat, has been looking at a radically different approach to the electric car, one they hope will be the envy of the industry.
Consumers got the first official glimpse of the Chrysler Envi electric car program in the summer of '08.
We have our Envi vehicles here. These electric cars show what the future is.
But Chrysler had been quietly working on an electric vehicle program since late 2004.
We saw a number of bellwethers that were happening. Certainly the regulatory climate started to move us into the direction of electric vehicles, zero-emission vehicles. But we also took a view of the consumers and what they wanted in their purchase consideration. And driving environmentally, socially responsible vehicles were becoming much a higher priority for our consumers.
And the Chrysler electric vehicle program was born. It got nicknamed Envi for the first four letters in the word environment. And unlike General Motors' Volt and Ford's electric car based on the Focus, Chrysler decided one choice for consumers was not enough.
So at Chrysler, we took a very different approach than others. We said, if it's going to be a major part of our portfolio in 2020, we need to start now. There was a sense of urgency to move forward quickly, and we took a very broad-based approach. We weren't looking to create a single EV, to hallmark our company around a single EV.
So Chrysler decided to electrify the whole fleet. The company envisions a day when the choice of electric versus internal combustion engine will be as common as leather versus cloth seats. The Envi program wants consumers to be able to choose on all their models, all electric, combustion, or an extended range vehicle that uses the best from both technologies. And if there's development in other areas such as hydrogen, the production line will adapt.
The economics of having a common strategy of a common cell, a common module pack, a common electric motor, power electronics, in all the vehicles we showed. How that will allow us to leverage high volume, even though we are looking at 4 or 5 different models, which in the initial introduction could be at low volume. But our objective is to drive 100,000 vehicles into the marketplace, per year, because that is the inflection point in which we believe EVs will become affordable and will be a good choice, alternative choice to consumers versus an internal combustion engine.
Concepts are great, but how do they drive? We wanted to find out, so we headed to the Chrysler Proving Grounds in Chelsea, Michigan, just outside Detroit. First up, the Dodge Circuit. If the professional driver's goal was to scare the bejesus out of me, it worked. The circuit's top speed is 120 miles per hour and goes 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds. It's a true sports car that handled the curves with ease. Chrysler claims the car can go 150 to 200 miles on a single charge, but that has yet to be independently verified. Next up, a more civilized ride with the Jeep Wrangler. This version was an extended range vehicle, meaning it has the capability of switching to gasoline once the battery loses juice. But once in production, an all-electric Wrangler will be offered. It's much heavier than the Circuit, so going 0 to 60 takes 9 seconds, and its battery range is 40 miles. That changes to 400 miles if you use the internal combustion engine as well.
Now, Tyler, we became only the second journalist to ride in one of those Envi cars at the Chelsea Proving Grounds. The folks from Car and Driver actually were the first. But I would have to say that after that white-knuckle ride, that comparing electric vehicles to glorified golf carts, those days are over.
Yeah, scintillating might be how I describe it for you. But what about that, Lee? I think that's actually something that a lot of consumers might be looking for in a sports car, the fact that you can get the power and deal with the torque of a traditional fueled vehicle.
Well, Tyler, there is a famous, very popular YouTube video that's out there right now that it has a drag race between a Dodge Circuit with an electric motor versus a Dodge Challenger with internal combustion with with a V8 Hemi engine, and the Circuit blows it off the line in the quarter mile. But which is no surprise because electric motors can ramp up faster and more efficiently than the internal combustion engine can. So that's no surprise. But what I would like to see is a lot of consumers have something this term that was coined about a year ago called range anxiety. You know, if you say a car it gets 40 miles per charge, you're thinking, what do I do with the 41 mile? If you get 100 miles per charge, you think, oh my gosh, what do I do at 101? So there's this whole range anxiety situation. I would like to see a YouTube video of that same Challenger versus that Circuit doing a 300-mile race, and let's see who wins that one.
Yeah, just a longer commute in a major U.S. city, right?
Exactly, and the other problem that we have besides battery life, how far it can go on a charge, is the price. The Chevy Volt is supposed to be one of the cheaper, less expensive electric cars that will be coming out next year, and it's going to be in the high 40,000. General Motors hasn't put a price on it yet, but most estimates are it's going to be high 40s. Fisker Automotive, $100,000. Tesla, $100,000. So unless they can get these prices down and deal with range anxiety, it doesn't matter how fast the car goes 0 to 60 if people can't afford it and they can't find a place to fill up.
Yeah, those batteries can be expensive, right?